Hello, my loves. Welcome back to Chemistry with Kismet Tarot. I'm Monica, the Kismet Chemist. If you are new to my channel, welcome to the family. There are so many new subscribers, and I am just honored every day to be able to accept new members of our family, new members of this community. If you are returning, welcome back. I have missed you. This week, we are going to be doing rising sign messages. And these rising sign messages are going to be based off of the equinox point of the sun that is occurring this week on the 27th or 22nd of September. In the Northern Hemisphere, we're celebrating Mabon, or the autumnal equinox. In the Southern Hemisphere, we're celebrating Ostara, or the spring equinox. The messages are still going to be the same. They're going to be based off of the rising signs. So in essence, how this is going to work is because this is geared toward both northern and southern hemispheres, I want you to think about the messages in terms of each of the individual seasons or sabbats that we're working with. So this, for Mabon, for all of those of you who are in the Northern Hemisphere, Mabon is the autumn equinox. It's the second of the harvest festivals, the first one being Lugnastad. I think I'm saying that correctly, but it is the celebration of light, which happens July 1st. Hi, sweet. Or August 1st, excuse me. It happens August 1st. And it is the celebration of light, or the celebration of Lu, who is the, he is the god of light in Celtic times. And as always, our wonderful mascot, Willow, has made her appearance and herself known here. So for those of you in the Northern Hemisphere, this card actually talks about the focus that we're working on. We have the harvest power. It is a great time to perform spells that bring harmony and peace to your home, or placing wards around your house for protection, getting ready for the harvest of what you have planted, what you have spent so much time working to build and to grow, and knowing that the harvest time is here and giving a lot of honor to that energy. I'll be right back. I'm going to let Willow out now. Okay, I'm back. So as I flip this over, I want to bring this up here so that you can actually look at what kind of altar decorations you may want to work with if you are in the Northern Hemisphere. There's also a list of different ways to celebrate. So if you want to screenshot this for your reference, that's absolutely something I would suggest. Even if you don't, say you don't associate with witchcraft or Wicca or anything like this, getting in touch with the sabbats is a natural way of flowing with the elements. It's a natural way of flowing with the changes in the cycles of the earth, the cycles of the stars. It is a really good way to help get you aligned with the energies that you're going to be working with and understanding how these energies work in your life and in the collective. So we are collectively in the Northern Hemisphere, where I live, moving into a time in which the nights become longer and the days become shorter, which means the power of the moon is more prevalent than the power of the sun. In the Southern Hemisphere, this is reversed. So for Mabon, a really great way to celebrate Mabon is actually by making something like apple butter. This weekend, and you can find it on my shorts on Sunday, you'll actually be able to see me making apple pumpkin butter with fresh pumpkins and homemade apples, and I'm gonna make it all and blend it down, and then I actually work intention into it to help open up that divine feminine energy, that divine receptivity energy, and really rebalance that energy with the wisdom of the apples and the abundance and prosperity that comes with the pumpkins. So that's a really great way to work with this and honor it. And if you guys actually look at my setup here, this is actually my Mabon setup. It's fall, it's autumnal, it's warm, it's cozy, but it is definitely something that makes me think of harvest and the changing of the leaves and the cooling of the earth in the area which I live, and that feeling of newness is always there for me during this time. And that's something that not a lot of people associate fall with newness, but it's always the start of the new school year. It's the time frame in which, for me, because I'm a nerd, you open a brand new notebook, you get brand new pencils, you do all these new clothes shopping. So fall to me feels like the time of renewal. It's a time to start a new journey, a new path. And that really bleeds us right directly into Ostara in the southern hemisphere, which is the spring equinox. It's the midpoint of the year when the day and the night are equal. And that's the same for both sides. So in a way, the northern and southern hemispheres of the earth are actually aligned as they're shifting into each other's reflective opposites, their polarities in the world. This Ostara is when we would normally celebrate Easter in the northern hemisphere. But here is a really great way for you to go ahead and screenshot again. But Ostara, as it mentions, is great for chakra work, for meditation, for spending more time outdoors in nature. But to me, Ostara is the start of a new zodiac cycle. So although in the southern hemisphere, it's still moving into the sun is still moving through Libra universally, I believe. Please don't quote me on that because there's some conflict of how it looks. And I personally don't live in the southern hemisphere, so I can't speak to it. But we may be in the same zodiac season. So we may all be experiencing Libra season. Or if you think about it, when we're celebrating Libra season in the northern hemisphere, the southern hemisphere is celebrating Aries season and vice versa. Again, this isn't astrologically accurate. I'm going to tell you that. But Sabbat wise, this is what we're looking at. So in this way, we have the warmer toned colors that we celebrate in the northern hemisphere. In the southern hemisphere, it is bringing forth those pastels, those softened colors. Before you get that brightness and that pop of summer, we're moving from this like darkened, heavier energy, and we're shifting it into a softened energy. That pastels, the pales, the robin egg blue, the pale yellows and light greens, and tulips and lilacs versus oak leaves and sage and wheat and oats. So if you think about the difference between the two, we're really mirroring two sides of the same colors. And in the middle is that summer section. You have the summer and the winter on the outliers. So what this whole point of it is I wanted to give an intro here. And I know it's a pretty long intro, so it's just going to be an intro video for this playlist for everybody for this section, because I want you guys to think about what season you're going into depending on which hemisphere you live in. Think about whether you're starting Mabon or whether you're starting Ostara, and get in touch with the energies of these different energetic seasons and zodiac seasons and the sabbats. Whether or not you practice witchcraft, again, this is just about helping you get in touch with the energy. So whereas one place is gearing up for warmth and playfulness, the other, that's the southern hemisphere. The northern hemisphere is gearing up for warmth of the hearth and home and the days inside and the snowy weather and all of the colder energies outside, where we are brought inside and asked to connect more at home and within ourselves and within our small groups of small communities and small family units. So whereas one half of the world is really ready to come out and burst forth with newness, now the other half of the earth is ready to rest. And while the readings are going to be tailored to each rising sign, it's going to be open for how you want to interpret that based off of which of the seasons and the hemispheres you're going to be in for the duration or for the majority of this season. So if you're going on vacation, like say you're, we call them snow geese or snowbirds. In North Dakota, we call it snowbirds, where you fly south for the winter because you're mimicking what the birds do. So if you're somebody who tends to go south to the warmer weather during the winter and then you come back, I want you to look at the Ostara because you're keeping yourself in the energy of wherever you're at. The messages are going to be tailored to just specific context, career, love, and spirituality and personal growth. So those are going to be the 4 sections that we're going to talk about. So really apply it to whichever one it fits in for your rising sign. Now, if you don't know your rising sign, I'm going to insert a little caption on here for you to be able to go and find your rising sign. I'm just going to put in the website that I prefer using, which is astro-seek.com, just because it's so user-friendly, and I literally use it for pretty much all of the astrological stuff that I work with, unless I really need to be looking at more finer detailed information, declinations and whatnot. That's not a topic for this reading, but for the most part, Astro-Seek is what I use. So I would encourage you to go to Astro-Seek, enter in your horoscope information, get your free chart, and my suggestion would be to use whole house because that's what I work with. So when I make references to what houses are being activated for whichever signs, I am talking about whole house systems. So all of that I'm going to put down in the description box of this video. And then this is just going to be out there so that you guys can get prepped for the week. I'm going to start with the cardinal signs and then shift into the fixed signs, and then finally finish up with the mutable signs. All of these are based off of your rising signs specifically. This is not a sun, moon, rising, Venus, Mercury, anything. This is specifically to your rising sign, specifically to the point in your chart in which you came into this world to embody, to embrace, and to shine forth. So that is why I am being as adamant as I am about you guys checking your rising signs, because when I work with this energy, I'm going to be working with specific houses. And if your sun sign and your rising sign are in 2 completely different places in your chart, the breakdowns that I give you are going to match a different energy than the energy that Spirit wants you to be aware of. And I am one that's very, very careful about how I word things because I want you to have the fullness of the experience, but also the fullness of the energies that you're working with, especially astrologically speaking. I do also do these kind of breakdowns on my Instagram every week. So you can definitely check out my Instagram channel. The links to that are in the description box as well. Okay, loves, this has been quite a longer intro, but it was important information and Spirit really wanted me to make sure that I explained it to you guys because it's going to be a pretty intensive reading is what I'm picking up. Spirit really wants to bring forth this clarity, and I can feel that for this season specifically, and especially with the latest collective reading where we got spring and autumn. This is going to be so important moving forward. So without further ado, I'm going to leave you guys here, and I will see you guys all next week or throughout the following week with these readings. And I love you all. And after this week, I'm going to be getting back to my regular scheduled pick a card readings, and we're going to get deeper into the step parents and the adoptive parents energies as well. If you guys have requests for readings, please check the email address in the description box and on the about section, and absolutely shoot me an email and send me any kind of requests you guys want. I will put it on my list. I will put it into my schedule. Okay, I love you all. I will see you at my next readings. Bye.